What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldson here. So in this video, I want to go over how I make around $10,000 a month in pure profit drop shipping on Amazon, working about 1 hour a day. I've been drop shipping on Amazon for a handful of time now, about a little bit more than a year and a half. And there's a lot of things that I've learned. There's a lot of mistakes I've made. To be honest, guys, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm absolutely not perfect. There's still mistakes and things that I'm dealing with all the time. But I've kind of got a nice system down now that is, it's been decent. It's been working. Like last month, I made about $10,000 in profit after all expenses drop shipping. The month before that, I made about $10,000 a month that month as well, drop shipping. This month so far is looking pretty good. I could show you guys my numbers if you like. If we hop right over here and I just show this to you just so you know, it's always important to make sure that you learn from people who are doing stuff. There's a lot of people on YouTube that just talk a big game, but they don't actually do this. As you can see, I do this. These are my sales. I've done $194,000 in sales in the last 30 days. 5999 so, and then let's see if we let's see if we could refresh it right there. And the sales actually went up, so now we're at $6,219 in sales so far today. You see 75 items sold. We're at $194,000.8 in sales. So a little bit more than $194,000 in sales in the last 30 days. And I just share this with you because it's important that when you're getting information, you get information from someone that's actually doing it. I don't want to learn theory. I don't want to learn from someone that's, if I want to learn how to start a business, I want to learn from someone that has a business right now because they could show me exactly what to do to be successful. I don't want someone that had a business 20 years ago because things change. I don't want someone that read a book or watched a YouTube video. I want someone that's actually done it, is currently doing it. That way I know that the information I get from them is pure, is correct, and it works without error. So what I want to do is just kind of take you, spend the next few minutes and kind of give you a overview of exactly how I make about $10,000 a month in profit drop shipping on Amazon, working 1 hour a day. So I got started in this a little bit more than a year and a half ago. And when I got started in this, one of the things I really liked about, one of the ideas that I really liked about Amazon drop shipping is the idea that it can be done anywhere in the world. As long as you have a computer, an internet connection, a laptop, or an internet connection, you can do this business, which I like. I also like that I didn't have to talk to customers, which was another benefit. I've had a bunch of different businesses, and I've had businesses where like I got leads for customers. That was a business I had. I had a business where I was getting I would get leads for loan officers from Facebook ads. And what I realized that even if I delivered a good product, sometimes these loan officers or these customers would not call on my leads. And then they would complain to me about it. So I didn't like that. I didn't want my success to have to be based on someone else doing the work. That's another reason I got out of MLM companies. I did Amway, Primerica, Ambit Energy. Nothing wrong with any of those companies, but and you could make great money with those companies. But one of the things I didn't like about them is my success was based on other people's motivation. And what I realized was that there's a handful of people out there that say that they're motivated and talk a big game, but when it comes to actually doing the work, are not willing to do the work. So I wanted a way that I could make money online where my income didn't rely on someone else having to be successful. And one of the things I like about Amazon is Amazon's a big company. I mean, they've been around for a while. They continue to grow. So Amazon seemed like a real stable platform that I could invest in, that I could learn about, and that I could hopefully use to make money for a decent period of time. That was kind of my mindset with it. So I got started with Amazon, and in the beginning, I wanted to learn all the different aspects of it. And my goal was always to outsource stuff. My goal was always to find employees that I could teach to do different parts of the business and basically put a system together and manage it. The average, I was reading this thing about McDonald's owners, or about McDonald's. The average McDonald's makes around $150,000 a year. There's different sources on the internet, but from what I've concluded, the average McDonald's owner makes around $150,000 a year in profit from a McDonald's. And I was reading this thing where, from this one owner that says he works like about 8 hours a week, where he doesn't have to be at the McDonald's in order for it to function. There's systems in place where, when someone comes up to the drive-thru, there's a thing and there's a person there that takes the customer's order. And let's say they order 3 Big Macs. Well, then in the system, what'll happen is it will subtract 3, however many patties are in a Big Mac from the inventory. And when it comes to order inventory, I'm not sure the inner workings, but I'm sure what happens is something along the lines of, okay, when it comes to order inventory, based on how many patties were sold, they place an order for these many patties. And then the truck comes from McDonald's that delivers the patties. And one of the employees goes and takes the patties and puts it inside and puts it in the freezer. And then when more people come through the drive-thru, those patties get sold. And when someone orders a patty, there's a person in the drive-thru, but there's also the cook that makes the patties. Or that doesn't make the patties, that takes the patties out, and then they make the Big Mac with it. And there's cashiers, and there's someone at the end of the day that cleans everything. So basically, McDonald's has a system in place where it can function by itself, and it seems like the owner just kind of watches everything, makes sure everything's working, and occasionally solve a problem or two, because that's kind of what being a business owner is. So my goal was to take that same thing and apply it to Amazon. And there's a few parts of Amazon. The first part of Amazon dropshipping is finding profitable products. So in the beginning, what I would do is I would go out there and find profitable products. I used to do it by hand, where I would, and there's a video somewhere around here, but there's a video where I show you how to do it by hand, where I would go to Walmart and I would do it manually and try to find profitable items that are on Walmart, the profitable products on Walmart that are selling on Amazon to sell. Then eventually I found a tool that basically made my life 10 times easier, and the tool just basically scrapes a bunch of sellers and shows you the most profitable items. So I got good at the tool, and over time I got good at once I found the tool, pretty much everything changed, and I was able to consistently find profitable items. So then, once I knew how to do it, I wanted to do it myself, right? It's hard for me to teach someone how to do something if I haven't done it myself. So the first part was always being able to find new profitable items to sell. Once I was able to do it, I taught what I knew to virtual assistants. We hired one VA on my team. A virtual assistant is like an employee. It's like an employee. A virtual assistant is like an employee. Usually they're overseas, right? They might be in the Philippines or Bangladesh, but they're an actual individual person, but they're virtual. Virtual just means they're online. They don't come and sit next to you or anything, right? Like I'm in the United States and my virtual assistants are in the Philippines. So they're just basically kind of employees of the store, but they're in another country. And I taught these employees or virtual assistants how to use the tool to find items, what to look for. There's a bunch of different things. I wanted my products to meet certain metrics, certain profit criteria. There's all these other things. I taught it to them, and now I have 3. I started off with 1. Then I got 2, then I got 3. Actually, I had a point where I had like 5, but now we're down to 3. I wanted to really hit it and to get a bunch of products. But now we're kind of at a sweet spot where we got 3. I have 3 full-time virtual assistants, and all they do is go out and find profitable items that the store is not selling yet that we can list. And their quota is 25 a day. Their job is to find 25 items a day that are a 9.5%, where if we list the item and we are the cheapest seller of the item, or within basically about a 2%, we could be, if we either have to be the cheapest seller or we have to be within 2% of the cheapest seller's price. Because pro tip, by the way, you can get the buy box being in around 1 to 2%. You don't have to be the cheapest seller. As long as you're around 1 to 2% near the cheapest price, a lot of times you will still get the buy box. So the profit criteria is basically it's got to be 9.5% profit, and it's got to meet that criteria where we can have our item be at a certain cheap price while at the same time being able to maintain at least 9.5% profit. And there's a couple other metrics as well, but I got 3 full-time VAs that go out there and they find 25 items a day, 6 days a week, and that's their job. And that might sound like a lot, but when you use the tool is really easy. The tool makes it a lot easier. If you're having them do it manually without the tool, they might be able to find maybe 5-10 items a day. So you want them to use the tool. And I'll put a link in the description to the tool that I use if you want to check it out. So that was the first part. The second part is order processing. Now that we got items, right? They're going to start selling, okay? Amazon's big. There's enough money for everyone to make money on Amazon. Amazon's like really, really big, and it keeps growing. There's more and more people that keep signing up for Amazon and buy more and more products from Amazon. That means as more customers sign up, there's significantly more room for more sellers to sign up, to especially help meet that demand. So the next part is fulfilling the items. And I had to learn all about this, right? And how do we fulfill the items? And what's the best way to fulfill it? Where it's, if a customer buys the item from our Amazon store, we take the customer's contact information, we go over to like Walmart.com, if the item's from Walmart.com, we buy the item from Walmart.com, and we ship it directly to the customer. And I wanted to put a system in place for that and really understand it. I wanted to do it myself, where even though it sounds simple, I wanted to see what sort of problems would I run into? What sort of issues would I run into? Once I got good at that, there's a virtual assistant, okay? There's a virtual assistant, an additional virtual assistant on the team that handles all that. They handle all that now, where you guys saw, right? We got a bunch of sales. It might even go up. Let's see, right? You guys see the sales, right? 75 items sold today so far. Maybe. Look, shit, we just got another one. They're going to go out there and fulfill all those orders. And I actually have I got a couple virtual assistants now, and their job is just to fulfill orders. Then I have a manager. I have a manager that kind of manages everything, and she helps out with some of the beginning parts of the fulfillment process. She also helps out with other stuff in the back end. And one of the other things I realized is as we started selling items, customers want to return the item. There's a percentage of customers that want to return the item. So when a customer wants to return an item, we get a message in Amazon, and then I have another VA, and what he does is he goes out to Walmart.com, and he'll find the item on Walmart.com that we bought for the customer, and he'll say he wants to return it, and then Walmart will give us a return label, and then we'll take that return label from Walmart, we'll upload it into Amazon for the customer will ship the item right back to Walmart, and then when the customer gets the item, they will, when the customer returns the item to Walmart, when Walmart gets it in the mail, Walmart refunds us, we refund the customer, everyone's happy. Now, by the way, in the middle of like 2020, they made an update that some people don't know how to get around, where they do auto approves for returns. There's a way to get around it. The tool that I use, the same tool that I use to go out and find profitable items, it has basically a thing you can upload into the back end of your Amazon account, which makes it go back to the old way, where you can manually approve every single return. I get probably 5-6 returns a day now, okay, because we're doing some volume. Every single one, it's like the old way. None of them are auto-approved. They're all manual. So I can get the label, or I can get the pickup instructions where, UPS or FedEx is going to come pick it up. I can send it to the customer, and I send it directly back to the supplier. There's been other parts of the business as well where, there's other customer service, where customer servers have questions or there's concerns, and I dealt with all that. So basically, I did everything myself. I got good at it, and then I put processes and systems and different teams in place. There's a team of people that are consistently finding good, new, profitable, high-quality items our store can sell. There's a team of people that processes the orders. There's a manager that helps out and manages a couple of things and does some of the back-end stuff. There's a customer service rep and someone that does returns. So I kind of got the system, just like McDonald's has a bunch of systems where the owner doesn't have to be there and the business run. That's how I wanted to set up my store. At the time I'm making this video, I have 9 VAs. I believe, I should know this, right? I believe one is part-time. And I also have one head manager and 2 assistant managers. So I really wanted to structure it like a business, because once it's structured like a business, the business runs, and that allows me not to have to work in the business. I've had other businesses where it's like I was all excited about the business, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, I realized that it's kind of like the business owns me. I was working like 40, 50 hours a week, maybe even 60 hours a week. I'm not 100% sure, but there were times where it was like it was my own business, but I couldn't get out of it. If I stopped doing the work stopped getting done. So one of the things I liked about Amazon, and I really wanted to focus on, was I wanted to put systems in place, and I now have systems and virtual assistants, a team of them, and they work together interchangeably, where I'm now at the point I work about an hour a day. In the beginning, it wasn't like that. I was working a lot more. There were sometimes I was working 12, 13 hours a day. I'm putting systems in place. I created a bunch of scripts, customer service scripts. My main virtual assistant that handles customer service, her English was not that good. Not her fault, right? She's foreign. So I spent a couple months really mentoring her and coaching her and getting her really good on customer service communication. We used to get bad feedback in the store, and they were like, I talked to someone foreign, their English was horrible, and they leave us a bad feedback. Now we get praises all the time from customers saying, thank you so much for following up. They'll sometimes reference my virtual assistant's name when they leave us a good review. So-and-so was so helpful. She was great. She did this. She did all these things. But that's on me to make that happen and to coach them. When you have an employee, a lot of times their job is just to do the work. You have to tell them what to do. You can't get mad if the business doesn't work. Your job as a business owner is to be at a high level and make sure all the systems are in place where the business is functioning well. And if it's not, it's your job to fix. But now I'm at a point where I work about an hour a day. And what I do is I'm always kind of checking the numbers of stuff. I have a bunch of spreadsheets. I look at a bunch of things. I'll go through the messages and I just kind of make sure things are getting handled. And just like any business, stuff changes. So it's not too uncommon for little things to change here, or sometimes medium things change here, or sometimes it's even a big change, and I have to kind of put in new systems in place, or make another process to give to the virtual assistant so they can run the store. This happened a few months ago. I had some issues with the suppliers I was dealing with. This was a handful of months ago. Sales dramatically dropped, and I had to go out there and basically I tested a bunch of stuff and I put some new systems in place to kind of fix that, and then sales picked back up again. So that's how I'm making about $10,000 a month in profit, drop shipping on Amazon, working 1 hour a day. It didn't start off like this, and there's always new things, there's always new challenges that are coming up, right? And Amazon, it's Amazon, it's drop shipping. So there's always things that can come up. There's always things that can happen. You really have to be on top of your store. And even if you're on top of it, there's still like other risks that you need to be aware of. But this last year I've made over $100,000 in profit. I'm, able to do this anywhere. I shared the story in another video where during last Thanksgiving, I wanted to go see my family. And I wanted to go see him, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go a few days early. So I actually went for 10 days. And even after paying for the flight there and back, I stayed at the nice hotel. I rented a BMW. There was two hotels because I was in one place and then I went to another place to see other family. But after paying for both hotels, the BMW for 10 days, the flight there and back, even after the 10 days, because of my Amazon store, I was up. I still made more in profit personally, even after paying for the flights, for all the flights, there and back, the hotel, and the car. I still was up in profit from my Amazon store. It's a nice feeling to be able to have that. So that's what I got for you guys. If you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because we do plan to release additional videos in the future about different tricks and tips and pretty much everything you need to know to be successful drop shipping on Amazon. And if there's anything specific that you'd like to know about, feel free to let us know in the comments. Feel free to let us know in the comments on any future videos. And if you'd like, if you're not in it already, we do have a free Facebook group, and that will be in the description along with the tool that I use. It's the only tool that I use that does, it allows me to find all the profitable items, and it's the same tool. They also have the thing in there that allows you to get past the auto return thing that I was telling you about. All that stuff will be in the description. My name is Aaron Goldston. Bye for now.